Today on FSI, we are breaking down the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills from a betting perspective. We watched the film and have done all the analytic research for you. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analytics expert, Stephen Fu.
Thanks for tuning in this week. The Rams are on the road as a 2.5 point underdog. They're plus 125 on the money line, and the Bills are minus 150.
Both teams are 2-0 in this matchup, and the Bills, they're the favorite. I think the handicappers took into the account that the Rams had to fly to Philadelphia, back to LA, and now they're going to have to fly to New York. Because of this, I think the public, they're going to be on the Bills in this one.
The Rams came off a big Week 2 win against the Philadelphia Eagles. Their game was pretty competitive until the second half. However, LA scored 14 points in the last quarter, which led them to a decisive 18-point victory. The Bills never led by more than 11 points against Miami. Buffalo did get the win, but the Dolphins had the backdoor cover on that 5-point spread. Both teams are coming into this week with the undefeated record, so Buffalo is going to be favored based off their home field advantage. I think there's good value if you're taking the money line for either team.
Jared Goff and Sean McVay have been together for 3 years. They're very effective and efficient. They're not asking Goff to do too much. They screen it out and they run the ball in different ways, and that's really effective for him. Now, last game, he missed one throw. He's playing some of the best football of his career. I gave him an A-, and I expect him to play pretty well against Buffalo in this matchup.
Josh Allen has started the season with an impressive 6-0 ratio of touchdowns and interceptions. He's the league leader in passing and top 10 in all passing categories. He does have pretty high pass volume, so that could lead to more turnovers in the future.
The Rams' offensive line, it struggled against the Dallas Cowboys in their first week. They allowed 30% pressures or sacks to dropbacks, but they did improve against the Eagles at only 17%. Now, Buffalo's defensive line has played great. They were getting to the Jets, and against the Dolphins, they got there 24% of the time. Now, there is a slight advantage for the Buffalo Bills here, but remember, the Rams, they threw a lot of screens. So they stretch out the defense a lot. They're not a traditional drop-back offense, but there is still an advantage for the Bills here.
The Greats have great pass protection, allowing only 4 sacks and 81 pass attempts. There's going to be no pressures from that Rams defensive line. They're getting to the quarterback under 4% of the time. Aaron Donald is the only one with the impact on that Rams defensive line.
The Los Angeles Rams wide receiver core is very solid. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and tight end Tyler Higbee are very hard to focus on because they both catch screens and they're very dangerous in the passing game. Now, the Bills secondary is led by Tre'Davious White and LaMicah Hyde. They actually rated out to a B+ when they played the Jets and the Dolphins. Now, one thing to watch is linebackers Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds. Both are questionable in this matchup, and they're going to be a big factor because they're going to be covering Higbee at the tight end spot, and they're also going to have to be on those screens. So I do give an advantage to the Rams here in this matchup.
Bills have great speed and route running for all their top receivers. Los Angeles only has one lockdown defensive back, so it'll be a big challenge defending all the receivers of the Bills.
The Rams' run game is very well coordinated. They run the ball with Cooper Kupp, Woods, Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown. They had 191 yards rushing against the Eagles, and that's not even counting screen passes, which I consider a run. They're very deadly, and they set up the pass very nicely. Now, the Bills, they have strong run D. They played very well against Le'Veon Bell and the Dolphins' Myles Gaskin. They held him to just 47 yards. But both those teams have traditional run styles, and the Rams don't. I think they have an advantage here, especially with those linebackers' health up in the air.
The rush offense of the Bills is pretty much non-existent. Buffalo has really low run volume and run efficiency for their offense. On the other side of the ball, the Rams give up just under 5 yards per carry, so that might leave a lot of space for Josh Allen and his run potential.
I'm taking the Rams in this matchup. Josh Allen, he's like a roller coaster. He gave you 2 fumbles versus the Jets in the red zone, and 2 passes should have been intercepted against the Dolphins. 1 should have been returned for 6. He gives you some great plays. For instance, he ran over a linebacker and threw a defensive end, but then he ended up fumbling on the end of the play on one of his runs against the Dolphins. Now, the Bills' O-line has been a little bit of below average against bad teams, and those linebackers, they are hurt. The Rams, they know their role, and they are the most coordinated team in the league. They also held the Dallas Cowboys to just 17 points in the opener, so I got to side with the Rams in this one.
The Rams can't defend the top 3 receivers of Buffalo. Josh Allen has great ability to run or pass the ball, so they have plenty of options on offense. Buffalo also has a better overall defense, so I think they have the best chance to win this. The money line is low enough so you can take it at -135.
Now remember, the weather and injuries, they're always changing, so follow our Twitter for our official moves. They'll be posted there. Now that's it for us. Do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. Tell us who you're going to be taking in the comments below.
We don't care about favorite teams here. Our focus is on making you money. Follow our social media on Twitter, Instagram, or our webpage. The links are below.